welcome to Joy News at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM and Hits 103.9 FM in Accra. In Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Sankara FM Yendi, Castle FM Cape Coast, Laura FM Laura, and Radio Max Takrady. Get radio, TV, and online content on the myjoyonline.com interactive app for Android and iOS devices. Coming up, breath of fresh air for medical facilities as striking graduate physicians' assistants. He calls from the National Labour Commission to suspend strike for negotiations to continue.
Temporarily, we may have to suspend our action whilst we look to engage.
Also, President Akufo-Addo debunks claims he wants to impose his preferred candidate on the NPP before the Superdelegates Conference this month.
There is not a single person in the NPP who can say that I have asked him or her to support this or that aspirant. I've not done it, and I know why I haven't done it.
In business.
First Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Maxwell Opoku-Afare, questions sustainability of central bank's continuous financing of government's budget. We've got details on the Joy Business Report.
And youth of Aswanse dismissed police findings suggesting a victim of an alleged police brutality died after running into a wall. They described the claim as laughable, insisting the deceased was beaten to death.
How do you hit yourself against a wall and suddenly you get abdominal bleeding? What? You see, it doesn't connote to logic. They should credit the Zongo community with some intelligence.
I am Amazing Nyamiche Thompson. Stay for details. Striking graduate physician assistants have agreed to suspend their strike to allow negotiations to continue. The group has been on strike for nearly 2 weeks. The intervention by the National Labour Commission came after a petition from the assistants aiming to facilitate a truce between them and the Ministry of Health over disagreements with some clauses in the Health Professions Regulatory Bodies Act. President of the Physician Assistants Association, Anthony Asari Akon, says they're ready to call off the strike.
So what the commission has done now is to send a directive to compel the Ministry of Health to come. Temporarily, we may have to suspend our action whilst we look to engage based on the commission's, the trust for the commission and then the direct being given. If we have decided to call off the action, then you know very well that it is not because we take solace or interest in staying off work, but because we really love to take care of Ghanaians.
The association is meanwhile disappointed by the absence of the ministry whom they thought would take part in the negotiations.
The Ministry of Health and the core agencies did not appear. It's really disappointing and very frustrating, like we have said. Really, I have never seen it in the history of this country before. And then the ineptitude, the indifference to not just our problems, but this is the healthcare sector that we are dealing with. And so whichever party comes with problems.
Anthony Asari Akon is president of the Graduate Physician Assistants Association. Now, President Akufo-Addo says, like any other delegate, he will support a flag bearer capable of uniting the party and winning the 2024 general elections. He went on to debunk assertions he is backing a particular candidate for the flag bearership in the NPP. The president was speaking to party communicators at the Jubilee House.
And I intend to cast that vote for the aspirant who I believe can best unite the party and who, above all, can win the election of 2024. That's why I can beat my chest and I can say without any fear of contradiction, there's no one in the party, there is not a single person in the NPP who can say that I have asked him or her to support this or that aspirant. I've not done it. And I know why I haven't done it. It's their right. They're party people. They can make whatever choice that they want, like all of you. You're entitled to make your own choices. I have my choice. I also have a vote.
President Akufo-Addo there, now a group calling itself the Concerned Youth of Aswanse, is dismissing findings suggesting a victim of alleged police brutality at Aswanse in the Ashanti region died after running into a wall. They've described the claim as laughable, insisting the deceased was beaten to death. An autopsy report says the victim died of massive blood collection in the abdominal cavity and blunt force trauma. But addressing members of parliament on the matter, Interior Minister Ambrose Derry said police investigations revealed the deceased died from running into a wall.
He was handcuffed by the arresting officer, but was later released to go when he showed signs of sickness. The arresting officers allege that the deceased, while running away, hit himself against a wall and fell down.
We can now hear from the Concerned Youth of Aswanse leader, Umar Harris, wants an independent investigation conducted for justice to be served. He says the claim by the police is laughable.
And then they also made a very laughable claim that when they were taking him, and then he ran and then hit himself into a hole. And that is how he sustained the multiple injuries that the reports showed. How do you hit yourself against a wall and suddenly you get abdominal bleeding? What? You see, it doesn't connote to logic. They should credit the Zongo community with some intelligence. So what we are saying is they should look into the matter again. We want justice for the young man because as of now he's been buried, but I don't think his soul is resting in peace.
Umar Harris is leader of Concerned Youth of Aswanse. Our Mayor of Kumasi Sampai says the police will from Monday implement restrictions on tricycle activities. He says they've started engagements with the operators to sensitize them on the restrictions, even though some are opposed to the decision. However, the mayor believes the sensitization campaign will help address that.
Last week at the General Assembly meeting of the Assembly, we took a final decision on that. Enforcement should have started today. We are looking at talking to them. So today, when you encroach the territories that we don't want them to use, they will talk to you and let you go. But from Monday, so between now and Friday, the police and the MTTD, our security people and the task force will be fully to enforcement because a week is enough time to that giving them that laxity and the explanations for further discussion that they wanted.
Well, some riders on Wednesday blocked the racecourse section of the road leading to the Kumasi Central Market in protest against the assembly. The action is to resist the restrictions preventing them from getting to the city's central business district as part of a decongestion exercise by the KMA. The riders' leaders are courting the city authorities' attention to have deliberations on the new directive. We'll bring you that sound later. Moving on, the Ghana Integrity Initiative has described as bizarre details emerging from a police probe into unexplained money allegedly stolen from the home of former Sanitation Minister Cecilia Abna-Dapa. The Attorney General Godfred Yeboah-Dame, in his advice on the case, asked the police to conduct an investigation into the ownership of the $200,000 and 300,000 euros said to have been stolen and the source of the money. Again, the AG called for an investigation into the $800,000 belonging to her deceased brother. Speaking to Joy News, acting executive director of the Ghana Integrity Initiative, Mary Ada, insists there must be a transparent and comprehensive investigation into the alleged theft at Madam Dapa's home.
Now, what the AG has done is to also make us know that the Honorable Minister didn't even have to make a complaint, but an investigation was conducted, if that is the case. For those of us who are not lawyers, we find this a very bizarre situation. And again, there is an attempt to make some suggestions as to whether it was 1 million only in the house or whether it wasn't much. We know one thing, and that one thing is what we picked from the beginning.
Meanwhile, one of the lawyers for the accused persons, Augustine Jimfi, accused the police of violating the rights of his client by failing to honor the bail granted her for the past 2 weeks.
She's been there over 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Lord.
Have you tried to get her bail?
The first
day she appeared in court, because she's a lactating mother, I pleaded with the court to grant her bail, and the judge, in her own wisdom, granted a bail in the sum of 1 million to sureties to provide their ID card, Ghana card. But we went to the police several times, up and down, bring this, go and bring this, go and bring that, do this. We couldn't execute the bill till today, so she's still there.
Illegal mining activities have rendered many water bodies in Ghana unsuitable for domestic and industrial activities. The affected communities, which are primarily rural, are unable to afford water filters. Fortunately, mechanical engineering students at the Sunyani Technical University have developed a pedal-powered water filter to solve the problem. Kwesi Debra has more for Tech Thursday.
The machine comprises a filter attached to a bicycle mounted on a metal platform. As the bicycle is pedaled, the movement of the wheel draws water into the filter. The filtered water is then collected in a container.
Right there we have a reverse osmosis machine. It has been purposely created for rural areas where we cannot have access to clean water.
And that's Tech Thursday from Kwesi Debra at Love FM in Kumasi. And that's it for the headlines. The news, I beg your pardon. In our top story, breath of fresh air for medical facilities as striking graduate physician assistants agree to call off their strike. I'm Mamiesi Nyamiche Thompson. Up next is business on the Super Morning Show.